Hello, personal finance and investing class. I thought I would take just a few minutes here and share some additional insights about our assignment for this week on our chapter on investing in stocks. The overview here is that you are going to build your own portfolio of four stocks. You'll pretend to buy any four stocks of your choosing, and then a week later, you will go back and check to see how they performed in the market and learn about, what happens when they go up or down and why that might have been. So here's an example that I put together doing this same project where I picked four stocks. And by the way, these are four stocks that I actually own. They are part of my personal portfolio. You can see the four here listed on the screen. And note also next to them the trading symbol. Each stock has a unique few letters, or 3 to 4 or 5, sometimes 2 letters trading symbol. And then two important notes here. One is you will need to pick stocks in 4 different sectors. And what do I mean by sector? Sector is the area of the marketplace where the particular company competes. And the reason it's important to pick stocks in different sectors, similar as we learned about in last week's chapter when we did an overview of investing in general, is that we always want to have some diversity in our portfolio so we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket. To give a simple example, you wouldn't want to buy only automobile stocks, for example, like Ford, Tesla, which has done phenomenally, as you may know, because let's say, for example, there was a global oil crisis. So all of a sudden, people stopped driving less, stopped, of course, filling up their tanks, and didn't need to buy new cars anymore. So all of your automobile stocks would decline a lot in value. So that's why it's good to have stocks in different sectors. And I'm going to show you in just a minute where you can get sector information. The other thing to note about this assignment is that when you pick your four stocks, you need to share 1 to 2 sentences on why you thought that was a good stock to buy. We'll discuss in this chapter different metrics or different things, and you can see some examples here of why I picked these stocks. Like, for example, you can see number 4 here on the list is Alibaba. It's in the consumer discretionary sector. As you may know, it's kind of like Amazon. They have a big component of their business that is online commerce. And then there's some other tech areas as well. And why I picked it, you can see here, is the stock continues to outpace the market in its growth. And analysts say it's expected to continue to grow based on their online shopping and other technology. So that's why I thought it was a good stock to pick. So let me just show you real quickly where you can get information on the stock, the company, as well as the sector. So let me get out of this for a second. I'm going to go here to Motley Fool, fool.com, which is a great site for information about stocks. But there's a lot of other great ones too. And you've heard Professor Brandy talk about Yahoo Finance, Google, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of them, but in this case, we're going to use Alibaba. I'm going to put in their call symbol here, BABA, and do a search. You can see there it says Alibaba Group Holdings. And here we see all this great information on Alibaba. Like, for example, we can see here today that it's gone up in price, and we can see how it's performed. We saw a similar example, I think, on Google, looking at a stock last week during one of our classes. And then if you scroll down here on the right, you can see there is where you can find the sector information, consumer discretionary, and then it also tells us a little bit more that it's in the internet and direct marketing retail industry. Then if you also scroll down here on the left, You can find lots of great articles. Here's one that certainly looks interesting: why Alibaba stock is surging today. You might want to read that to get more information. So again, this is where you can find lots of great data and otherwise about whether you think this is a good stock to pick for your pretend portfolio or your real life portfolio. Now, going back to our assignment, the second part of our assignment is a week later. So in my case, I began the assignment on April 20th, and then a week later on April 27th, I came back for those same 4 stocks. And then I noted the price on the 3rd. Excuse me, I started on the 27th, and then I came back on May 3rd, a week later. And you can see in my case, overall, all of my stocks went up except for one, but net, my stocks went up when I summed the numbers together, $39.42. So it was a good week for me. And just imagine, for example, let's say instead of buying 4 shares, I bought 400 shares. So 100 times more, I could have made $3,900 in that week. But I do want to know, just as we've discussed, you never know if your stocks are going to go up or down. There's lots of market dynamics. So it can be a wild ride, and you've really got to do your research and tracking to make sure you understand the risks and potential benefits for your portfolio. Well, I look forward to seeing what stocks everybody picks. And please, of course, don't hesitate to ask me if you've got any questions whatsoever.